Hi, welcome to IRE TV. I'm Hermione from Inspect Real Estate. I'm one of the account managers and consultants here, working with agencies all around Australia. And today I'd like to talk to you about one of the less attractive but arguably more important secrets to real big business growth in real estate. Now I know all around the industry, it's all buzz around new business at the moment. It's how can we grow our rent rolls? We've got new business, BDMs, people dedicated to going out and getting that business. But one of the less attractive and probably not spoken about sides of it is actually looking after your existing client base. So in today's session, what I want to run through with you is first of all, the changing expectations and landscape that we're dealing with today's clients. I also want to talk to you about the worth of a single customer in your business and then the ripple effect of them going out into your community and local area and talking about your business and the experience that they've had with your business. Talking about that customer experience, I then want to take you into actually how we could potentially design that experience from the ground up to make sure that everyone that touches your business is going to go out and have absolutely positive things to say about their experience, which has an amazing ripple effect for the growth of your business. And then I'm going to finish today with some actual core take-homes that you can go to start implementing these growth strategies into your business. Now, if we want to have a look at the changing landscape of today, it has developed so much. Technology has just skyrocketed us into the 21st century, I think we're in now. And we don't have to look back that far to see how much things have changed. If we have a look at the airline industry as an example. Now, you don't have to go back that far to remember a time when people were able to smoke on aeroplanes, when you went to a local travel agent to book any travel, you had an actual physical ticket that you had to have with you, and if you didn't have that ticket and you lost it, your travel plans were kaput. Now, we only have to look at the shopping industry as well to have a look at how much things have changed. Not that long ago, you would have needed to go into a shop, pay cash, and potentially, if you were very lucky, someone would deliver that to your house. Now, you can shop online, you can compare prices 24/7. You are able to get online tracking delivery of that parcel right into the point that it comes to your door. You can even then return those parcels for free. It's pretty incredible how much things have changed. Across all different industries, things have changed so drastically, and real estate has finally caught up. Back in the day, when you used to sit down on a Saturday and circle your ideal properties in the newspaper and head out to view those properties, now think about what you can do. Online booking, for one, obviously with Inspect Real Estate, but also virtual tours. You're able to actually walk through and see a property without actually physically going and inspecting it, which is pretty incredible. You're also able to sign leases online, get instant notifications of your tenancy or your purchase. It's pretty incredible how much things have changed. Now, unfortunately, that's also created a little bit of a beast for us in the industry because those clients now have absolutely, might say, outrageous expectations of the communication and level of service they'd like to receive. And it's not just communication, it's also around having an experience with your agency. And that experience can make the difference as between whether they're going to go out and speak positively about your business and refer business to you. Now, let's look at that in practice. Let's look at some core business statistics. Now, these statistics apply mostly to general businesses across all industries, but I'll break it down a little bit into the real estate space. Now, on a general year-to-year basis, you are going to lose between 10 and 15% of your core client base. Now, it's probably more practically applicable if we talk about the rent roll, the bread and butter of the real estate business. And if we look at if we take out the ones of those that are unavoidable losses, such as owners moving back in or properties selling, the rest of those, around 84% of those are actually going to leave because they're dissatisfied with your service. And unfortunately, 4% of those will tell you, but the rest of them aren't actually even going to tell you. So they're walking out into your local community, talking about your business, and they haven't even let you know that they're upset with the service that they've received or the experience that they've had within your business. Now, the good news is that we can leverage that knowledge. So we know that every one customer that you can keep represents 3 that you don't actually have to go out and attract through your other means. Now, and that can actually lead to a drastic 15 to 50% increase in profits for your business by just focusing a little 5% more effort on keeping and retaining your customers. The big challenge is at the moment in this space is that Once upon a time, a customer would only tell 3 people about their experience with your business. Now they're heading out to tell 15 to 20 people. The online social realm has actually enhanced that even more. We all know that when we're heading out to choose a restaurant, when we're heading out to choose a hotel we're going to stay at, we're going online and we're looking at reviews. And God forbid someone you know has a negative experience at a local cafe, they're posting it and writing about it. And the reach on that in the social world is pretty incredible. One important thing we need to remember on that is that the customer does not differentiate between sales and property management. So they don't see us as 2 individual silos. Now, there may be an invisible wall in your office, or there may be a physical wall in your office, but the customer doesn't see that, and to be honest, they don't care about that. They see you as one united business. So we need to make sure that the experience that they're having is not just specific for your department, but congruent and positive across that whole business. Okay, so now that we've had a look at the importance of the customer experience, not just in your department, but across the whole real estate business, I just wanted to take a moment to go through a few case studies so we can really understand the relevance of this. The first case study I want to talk about is actually one of my own experiences, and this was when I was recently looking for a rental property in the area that I live in. Now, I went to lots of open homes, submitted lots of inquiries, and there was one property that we were quite keen on. We put our application in on the Saturday straight after we saw the property, and then we thought, great, we're going to hear back from someone on Monday, at least with an update on how our application went. Monday rolls by, no word. Tuesday arrives, I call the agent, property manager's not available to talk to me. Okay, no worries, send her an email and leave her a message. Wednesday comes and I still haven't actually heard from the agent. Meanwhile, the property is vacant, so cue my concern for the landlord. And then Thursday, finally we hear back, only after some persistent calls to the office, that we were not the successful applicants and that another applicant has been chosen that morning. Now that's not one, but that's 4 or 5 days worth of rental income that owner hasn't actually received because the agent wasn't able to get back to us and approve a tenancy application on the Monday. Now, that's fine. We chose another property. We're much happier in the other property at the end of the day. But the interesting thing is that that agency hasn't actually realised that I own an investment property, my brother owns an investment property, and potentially other people we know that we're also out there speaking to at brunches and barbecues over the coming months. And you can only imagine how many times I've actually told that story. The more amusing part of it was then living in the property that we ended up living in that area, that same agency was dropping flyers in our letterbox looking for new investment managements. So you can imagine what we did with that flyer. The second case study that I'd like to talk to you about is one I'd like to call the vacating landlord. Now this is the story of a property manager who had a vacating tenant leaving one of their fairly high-end properties that were in Sydney's CBD. Now this tenant, not through any malicious activity, but just had not taken very good care of the property, and due to a few things needing repairing in this higher end property, the property manager had to take most of this tenant's bond. Now the tenant left probably a bit despondent, but called that property manager back 6 months later. Property manager was initially quite surprised, thinking, oh dear, am I going to have to go straight back to tribunal? But that tenant had called back to say, property manager, I have actually purchased an investment property not too far from your office, and of course I'd like you to manage it because you were so thorough in dealing with me. But not just that, you didn't make me feel like a criminal. You showed really true empathy and made the whole process really thorough and efficient, and I was really happy with the service despite losing most of my bond at the end of the day. That same now investor, not tenant, went on to purchase another investment property within 12 months in the CBD area, and then was able to sell one of those through the same agency 12 months later. So we can start to see the importance of these clients who we sometimes are just waving out the door and saying goodbye to, but potentially we're missing out on quite a number of their business in the future. Now, the third case study I want to go through is actually a bit of a bugbear for many businesses that I've gone into over the years. When we're having a look at growth, we often have a look at the numbers of business that's coming in. Less frequently are we looking at what's actually going out the door. Now, I spoke before about avoidable and unavoidable losses. We might look at some of those properties that are selling in that unavoidable loss category. Now, I usually suggest to drill down, and you might want to do this in your business for the last 12 or 24 months, and have a look at, of those properties that have sold off your rent roll, what percentage of those sold with your agency versus another agency. And sometimes those numbers can be quite alarming. Now, sometimes the landlord will choose to sell with a different agency because Auntie Betty works at the agency down the road, but sometimes it's because they haven't actually been 100% happy with the experience that they have had with your agency. And you don't need to be a mathematician to think about what the numbers are of what the loss is to your business if you're not able to secure that sale. So now that we've gone through some of those case studies and we can really see the importance of taking care of all clients in our business, and possibly especially those tenants that we sometimes treat as a little bit disposable, we want to have a look at how we can actually leverage that. So in having a look at this slide here, we can see that there's a few different customer types that will leave our business. So we've got the first one, which is a promoter. Now, the promoter is the person who is out there wearing your t-shirt. They can be your best advocate and they can influence many other potential customers to come your way. We've got the detractor. Now, he's telling all his mates, but he's not telling all his mates such a positive story. He can be your worst critic and can influence many other current and potential customers away from your company. Think keyboard warrior. Then we have the passive client. Now, they're fairly indifferent to you, and unfortunately this makes up quite a large chunk of your customer base. They can be your biggest uncertainty because they can influence other customers away from you and away from your company. So we really want to figure out in your business who is wearing your t-shirt, who is out there singing your praises, and how can we leverage those people? So how can we make sure that if someone's walking away from us with a really positive experience, are we getting a review from them on our Google or Facebook page? Likewise, if someone is leaving your business, do you know why they're leaving? Are they unhappy? Now, in the real estate space, it can be a little bit tricky. As I mentioned before, we can talk about and probably drill down into why landlords leave a little bit better. It's a bit hard with tenants because tenants are constantly leaving us, and that's a bit out of our control. But are they leaving us and going out and saying positive things when they're around the brunch table next weekend, or are they saying negative things? And having a look at how you can potentially leverage the promoters and change the perceptions of the detractors in your business, one really vital thing that you need to do that a lot of really big businesses are doing, so your Virgins, your big banks, all of these sort of people are going out and doing, is a customer experience map. Now this involves going through each and every aspect of your business. So we're looking at everything from the application processing through to the lease signing, through to the next contact that you're making with that tenant as an example, and breaking that down into the touch points and really having a look at what are our touch points, what are we saying to our clients, how are we saying it, through which medium, and is that actually a template that we've been using from 10 years ago, or have we thought about what do our customers actually need to hear from us at that point in time? So customer experience mapping is a really important thing. Now there's a lot of different ways you can do this. One client I've been into recently literally got butcher's paper all around the different walls of one of their meeting rooms, post-it notes, marker pens, and literally drew it around every single wall as a complete customer experience map. And then they were able to break it down and look at each one of those touch points, redesign their systems and processes, and then training for their team to match what they wanted that service to look like. So really designing that customer process from the bottom right through to the top. The other really important thing to have a look at is just having a look at your customer. Who are they? A lot of the time when we're speaking to them, we're picturing them as a one-dimensional person. They're a tenant card from the trust accounting system, their name's popped up, they're on the other end of the phone, or we're sending them an email. Sometimes we forget that they're actually a multi-dimensional person. They're a mother, they're a brother, they're a sister, they're a daughter, they're a colleague. Now, potentially they've got things going on in their lives as well, like we all do. They might be going through some hardships, they might be going through some good times. But we also need to remember that they may not just be our current clients, they may be our future clients, and most importantly, they know our future clients. So are we treating them with empathy? Are we being efficient? And are we treating them like we would if our mother was calling up to do business with us? To finish up today, I want to go through some of the growth secrets that the big businesses use. Now, one of the things we've already spoken about is customer experience mapping. So to do this, if you can put some priority and time and energy into doing this, I want you to go away and I want you to map out your customer experience. Whichever way you do it, whether it's on paper, on the wall, on a spreadsheet, go through and map out all of your touch points that a client has within your business. If you're a property management and sales business, be sure to do that across both sides of your business and have a look at the cross points as to where they actually connect, and make sure that experience is congruent from one side of your business across to the other. Because remember, that client doesn't necessarily see each department as a separate department. So we want them going out and saying positive things about all of our business, so that even if they've been a tenant and they're out there talking to someone else in your local marketplace, they have positive things to say, and potentially then that other person, when they go to sell, will choose your agency as one of the front runners to what they choose from. The next takeaway I want to give you today is the power of surveys. Now, when we went back and talked about the promoters and the detractors and the passive people within your business, that all comes from a big survey system called Net Promoter Scoring. And that's basically saying how likely would you be to refer our business to a friend. If you're going and sending out surveys through your Survey Monkeys, or if you're doing them manually, please make sure that you include that one question. Simplify it down. It doesn't need to be a long survey on the 10 to 15 points of their experience within your business. Even just 2 or 3 questions can be enough to get out exactly what you need from them and the experience that they've had within your business. If you want to really drill down into it and someone with authority in your business has time, I can't underestimate the power of a manager or director call to your clients, especially for your landlords and especially to past vendors and purchasers. And really be able to drill down and ask them, how was your experience with our business, and would you be likely to refer our business to a friend or family member? The next takeaway is around finding out what would they actually say, but not necessarily to you. And that's around mystery shopping. So mystery shopping can be done either potentially internally through an administrator in your office, or you can actually hire third-party companies to actually go out and do that mystery shopping for you. And they could potentially do a digital mystery shop to let you know what the experience of a customer is online through seeing your business on the portals, through to your website, through to booking inspections as an example. Or they can potentially physically go out, go into your office, go to your open for inspections and let you know exactly what experience people are having when they come into contact with your business. The next thing I want to give you as some homework to go away and do is to review your digital footprint. Now, as we mentioned before, this is really important. If you're looking to go away on a holiday, I can guarantee that you're going to be looking at those reviews. Now, you have to remember that your customer is also online. They're used to having that little device in the palm of their hands 24/7. And before they're choosing to use your business and potentially before they even get in contact with your business, they are going online to see what other people are saying about your business. So, do you have reviews? Are they good? Have you responded if they're not? And how could you then potentially leverage off some of those promoters that we were talking about earlier to make sure that their positive reviews are going onto your either website or Google reviews or Facebook reviews? The next thing, and it's not the most pleasant thing that you really want to be paying attention to, but every business should have a complaints register. Now, hopefully your business is not a business that has any complaints, but if you do get any complaints or frustrations, I want someone in your office to be designated to keeping a register of those complaints, making sure that those complaints are then reviewed and followed up. Now, an important part of this process may be also adding in a loss management review process. It'll be amazing what you can actually learn from going through and listening to what people have to say and being able to improve your experience and your processes as a result of that. The last takeaway I want to give you today is the potential of implementing a customer service guarantee. Not only will this be a good selling and marketing tool for your business, but it will also help to keep your team accountable and responsible to delivering those experiences and outcomes that you've designed and said that you're going to deliver. Now, across all of those pieces, we need to remember to utilize the technology wherever we can, utilize training wherever we can to be continually improving to meet those expectations, and remembering we need to have empathy and efficiency to meet those clients' expectations. Why do we need to do all of this? Well, we need to remember that the most expensive words in business are, well, we've always done it that way. If we don't keep changing and evolving, then we're going to get left behind. So, thank you for joining me today for today's session of IRE TV. My name's Hermione. If you do need any further information or you'd like to chat about anything I've spoken about in today's session, please don't hesitate to get in contact. Thank you.